Welcome back to our channel where we share updates and untold stories about Catherine, Princess of Wales and her royal family. Today we bring you some significant news. King Charles and Prince William refuse Harry's $20 million debt to put an end to traitors. An insider source has said that King Charles and Prince William have issued an official statement on Prince Harry's request to pay the $20 million debt to return to the UK. This choice has outraged Prince Harry and prompted him to discuss King Charles's mistreatment of him in a recent interview. This movie will explore the reasons behind King Charles and Prince William's need to issue a statement on Prince Harry, who is consistently influenced by Meghan. What is the actual situation of Prince Harry if he lacks a royal title and is seen as capitalizing on the royal family for financial gain, or only engaging in a public relations campaign with Meghan? On an ostensibly typical July morning, the British monarchy faced turmoil when King Charles was admitted to the hospital owing to significant problems arising from his continuous cancer treatment. An official announcement from Buckingham Palace revealed news that reverberated across the country. The palace said that the monarch was hospitalized for medical monitoring due to unforeseen and troubling side effects. The statement did not specify the precise nature of his therapy, but underscored that the difficulties were transient and needed prompt intervention. The King's medical team, consisting of premier professionals, was promptly assembled to safeguard his health. The hospitalization elicited an instant reaction from the royal household, with top officials gathering to evaluate the situation and ascertain the necessary modifications to the monarch's itinerary. His afternoon commitments, including a meeting with foreign leaders and a ceremonial ceremony at a veterans group, were swiftly annulled. The palace promptly assured the public that the monarch was well cared for and that his health remained stable. The abrupt hospitalization elicited apprehensions among royal observers and the public, many of whom recalled the monarch's prior health issues. As news of the king's illness spread, the people congregated outside Buckingham Palace, where they placed flower tributes and words of encouragement. The mood was marked by subdued anxiety as several Britons conveyed their aspirations for his quick recuperation. "We all desire our king's swift recovery," one observer said, reflecting the feelings of many. The royal family was apparently profoundly worried, with Queen Camilla and other close relatives always present in the hospital. Prince William, as the Prince of Wales and heir presumptive, was one of the first arrivals, allegedly collaborating with palace officials to guarantee the seamless execution of royal responsibilities during his father's absence. Following an extensive medical examination, the palace said that King Charles had been released and had returned to Clarence House, his official home in London. The message did not elaborate on the specifics of his therapy, but emphasized that his health was being closely monitored. Medical specialists requesting anonymity hypothesized that the difficulties may have arisen from a response to chemotherapy or another targeted cancer medication. They highlighted that these adverse effects, while troubling, were not unusual in individuals receiving rigorous therapy. The country collectively sighed in relief, highlighting the vulnerability of even the most resilient institutions and paving the way for the emerging royal drama. Historical precedents in the development of monarchical leadership. The British monarchy, entrenched in centuries of tradition, has been significantly influenced by health crises and power transfers that have characterized its history. The abdications that transformed the royal lineage, together with the wars and scandals that challenged its resilience, have compelled the institution to consistently evolve with the changing currents of time. King Charles's present health problem reflects historical instances of royal fragility, notably those that prompted substantial changes in the monarchy's function and organization. A significant similarity is seen in the early 1950s, when King George VI's deteriorating health required a progressive delegation of duties to his oldest daughter, Princess Elizabeth. During that period, George VI, already debilitated by prolonged illness, became more incapable of executing his royal responsibilities. His sickness, exacerbated by the significant challenges of post-war government, finally resulted in his death in 1952, after which Elizabeth succeeded to the throne as Queen Elizabeth II. Queen Elizabeth's reign, lasting more than 70 years, was characterized by a meticulous equilibrium between tradition and progress. With her advancing age, the monarchy had the difficulty of assuring continuity while preserving public trust. The Queen's method of transferring tasks to her successors, notably Prince Charles and then Prince William, established a pattern for the institution's management of the issues associated with aging monarchs and the ultimate transfer of power. During the 1990s and early 2000s, as Elizabeth's public engagements grew more infrequent, Prince Charles progressively took on a larger role in representing the monarchy, both domestically and internationally. This gradual transition allowed an uninterrupted execution of royal responsibilities, while maintaining the dignity and stability of the institution. The existing legal structure regulating royal succession and the delegation of duties has developed in reaction to historical precedents. The Regency Acts, first enacted in the 19th century and subsequently revised, create the legal framework for maintaining the monarchy's continuation in cases of a sovereign's incapacity. These laws have been used in different capacities throughout history, particularly during the reign of King George III, whose mental health issues required the designation of a regent. Recently, the Councillors of State, consisting of the monarch, the heir apparent, and other senior royals, have been crucial in executing official responsibilities during the sovereign's absence. The ongoing situation about King Charles's health has once again subjected these legislative provisions to examination as palace officials and government leaders evaluate the suitable measures to ensure stability. In addition to legislative frameworks, the monarchy's resilience has been founded on its ability to adapt to evolving public expectations. The shift from Queen Elizabeth II's reign to King Charles's authority has been characterized by a redefining of royal duties, emphasizing simplified government and financial responsibility. The current health issue, while very personal for the king and his family, also highlights the wider difficulties confronting the institution. As deliberations continue at Buckingham Palace, historical lessons remain significant, providing both warning and direction as the monarchy traverses another critical juncture in its extensive history. A royal dispute. Prince Harry's request and Prince William's terms. Under the splendor of Buckingham Palace, a very emotional and politically sensitive dispute has arisen, exacerbating an already tenuous situation for the British monarchy. Central to this upheaval is Prince Harry, who has allegedly filed a formal plea to his sick father, King Charles, requesting financial assistance to resolve a significant debt and alleviate the repercussions of a scandal that has damaged his public reputation. Insiders indicate that Harry's appeal goes beyond a basic request for financial support. It is a larger initiative to re-establish his position within the royal family and maybe to cultivate public favor. Nonetheless, his plea has elicited a resolute and strategic reaction from Prince William, who, as the heir presumptive and de facto head of the royal institution, has established rigorous conditions for any potential reconciliation. The specifics of Prince Harry's plea, albeit not officially verified, have been assembled from several palace sources and keen watchers of the royal family. The request fundamentally pertains to a symbolic debt of $21 billion, a figure that, although not indicative of a genuine financial obligation, purportedly embodies the substantial expenses related to Harry's previous lifestyle security provisions and the reputational harm associated with his public activities. The debate around his philanthropic efforts, especially his participation in prominent programs like the Invictus Games, has attracted criticism in recent years. Initially lauded for their humanitarian benefits, these initiatives have faced growing scrutiny for purported mismanagement and possible conflicts of interest. Harry, allegedly recognizing the seriousness of these issues, has positioned his appeal as an attempt to assume responsibility for previous misdeeds and pursue a route to redemption. Prince William has explicitly said that any resumption of royal responsibilities or restoration of privileges would have significant consequences. Insiders report that the Prince of Wales has established a set of rigorous conditions for his brother's possible reinstatement into the royal family. The primary condition is that Harry must return to the United Kingdom, not as a senior royal, but as a private person, forfeiting all royal titles and ceremonial associations. This would entail the irrevocable forfeiture of the Duke of Sussex title, together with any formal acknowledgement of his position as a member of the royal family. Furthermore, William has mandated total financial autonomy for Harry, guaranteeing that he assumes full responsibility for his spending without depending on royal finances or public resources. This demand is seen as a direct reaction to apprehensions over Harry's previous financial associations, especially his alleged dependence on public funding for security and travel before his exit from royal responsibilities in 2020. Most controversially, Prince William has allegedly demanded that Harry terminate all associations with royal organizations and humanitarian activities. This stipulation aims to avert more harm to the monarchy's image and establish a clear separation between Harry's personal endeavors and the official duties of the royal institution. The choice to separate Harry from royal charity is notably consequential, since it represents a clear deviation from the conventional role of the monarchy in endorsing humanitarian initiatives. Historically, members of the royal family have actively supported many social programs. However, William's position indicates a transition to a more prudent and regulated approach to public involvement. The motives behind William's stringent demands are many. The personal discord between the two brothers has been extensively recorded, with tensions intensifying in recent years, owing to media scrutiny, divergent views on royal obligations, and the repercussions of Harry's choice to withdraw from royal duties. William, often depicted as the epitome of duty and tradition, is resolute in asserting authority over the monarchy's future, guaranteeing that any reunion with his brother does not compromise the institution's stability. From a larger viewpoint, the stipulations set out by William indicate an increasing recognition inside the palace of the need to modernize the monarchy and dissociate it from historical disputes. In a time of heightened public scrutiny and evolving expectations, the royal family must maintain a precarious equilibrium between tradition and responsibility. The palace is contending with the ramifications of Harry's petition and William's reply, leaving the situation in a state of uncertainty. The monarchy, already strained by King Charles's health issue, now confronts a profound psychological and institutional quandary, one that may have enduring consequences for the destiny of the crown. Mental impact on the royal family. The royal family is struggling emotionally, particularly King Charles, Prince William, and Prince Harry, who are facing a very sensitive and complex situation. King Charles, already weakened by his sickness, has reportedly been grieving and worried about his family. Palace insiders say the monarch wants his sons to reconcile and reunite. Charles is said to have shown deep sorrow over the growing conflict between his sons in private conversations at Clarence House, acknowledging his role in the conflict. "I have consistently desired for my family to be complete," he said passionately. "However, I worry that past scars may be insurmountable." Prince William must manage his duty as the future ruler and his relationship with his brother. William, the royal family's anointed successor and leader in his father's absence, has set strict criteria for Prince Harry's readmission. However, his friends say the decision was not taken lightly. William, known for his deep devotion to the monarchy, understands the need to preserve it. He is apparently deeply affected by his brother's growing estrangement, despite his cool exterior. He may have spent sleepless nights contemplating the long-term effects of his requests, torn between his responsibility to the realm and his yearning for family unity. A senior advisor stated William is aware that history will evaluate his actions. Moreover, he understands that this will affect his relationship with Harry forever. Prince Harry must choose between reconciling and making concessions. His brother's uncompromising response to his formal appeal for financial aid and possible reinstatement has forced him to accept the possibility that his readmission into royal life may compromise his identity and autonomy. Harry is well aware of the damage he has done to his family and the monarchy, according to sources. His willingness to take on financial responsibility and distance himself from royal organizations shows a genuine desire to be accountable. These sacrifices hurt emotionally. Harry has consistently been the more emotionally expressive of the two brothers, remarked a close co-worker. However, he must now weigh his personal sacrifices against the possibility of repairing a years-old relationship. Tension in the palace and emotional strain on the royal family are rising. The king's declining health, his son's growing conflict, and the monarchy's uncertain future have created a stressful situation. Although most people are unaware of the family's internal conflicts, Buckingham Palace officials know that the coming decisions will have major consequences for the royal institution and its legacy bearers. Public sentiment and the dichotomous perception of Prince Harry's allure. The announcement of Prince Harry's official request for financial support and his possible reinstatement of royal duties has sparked a vigorous discussion across the United Kingdom, resulting in a divided public view. Following King Charles's hospitalization, there has been a significant display of national concern and support for the monarch as individuals congregate outside Buckingham Palace to offer flower tributes and handwritten notes of kindness. However, underlying this unified expression of allegiance to the monarchy, a more profound discourse has arisen, one that illustrates the intricacies of contemporary monarchy, individual responsibility, and the shifting anticipations of the British populace. In the vibrant cafes of London and the tranquil hamlet pubs of the countryside, conversations on the subject have had a markedly divided tone. A significant number of Britons saw Prince Harry's plea as a chance for reconciliation, recognizing the need for family cohesion during these difficult times. The monarchy encompasses not only tradition, but also familial bonds, said a London resident. Should Harry accept accountability for his past and endeavor to mend the divide, a potential pathway may emerge. Conversely, others maintain skepticism, contending that the monarchy must put institutional stability over individual concerns. A political expert said, "This issue extends beyond the relationship between Harry and William. It is essential to maintain the monarchy's detachment from personal conflicts. Should Harry choose to return, he must do so under conditions that safeguard the institution's integrity." The subject of financial responsibility has been a notably heated topic of discourse. Some assert that Prince Harry should be entirely accountable for his financial responsibilities, while others contend that the monarchy may share some liability for the expenses related to his previous positions and security provisions. The symbolic $21 billion sum, although not a real debt, has emerged as a central topic in the discourse, with some individuals seeing it as indicative of the substantial financial and reputational repercussions associated with his public activities. If the royal family seeks to dissociate from Harry's controversies, he should be prepared to shoulder the responsibility, said a pundit on a prominent news program. However, we must inquire what portion of this debt was attributable to his royal status initially. In addition to national discussions, social media has emerged as a contentious arena for conflicting narratives, with hashtags like #royal redemption and no more royal privileges gaining prominence. Online forums and news comment sections have seen fervent debates between proponents and detractors of Prince Harry's appeal, with some urging for his reinstatement under stringent restrictions, and others asserting that his abdication from royal responsibilities should be irrevocable. The age disparity in public opinion is apparent, as younger demographics are more predisposed to assess the monarchy through a framework of contemporary responsibility, while older generations prioritize tradition and continuity. The ongoing discussion underscores a basic reality. The British populace is profoundly engaged in the monarchy's survival, and the resolution of this issue will influence attitudes toward the institution for years ahead. Behind palace doors, the burden of legacy and decision-making. In Buckingham Palace, top officials and experienced personnel are engaged in a serious discussion about the significant consequences of Prince Harry's appeal and the stipulations established by Prince William. The crisis has exerted significant strain on the palace's inner circle, compelling them to manage the intricate balance between family reconciliation and institutional preservation. In confidential sessions, advisors have conducted thorough conversations, evaluating the potential ramifications of each proposed course of action. Palace officials exhibit an attitude of careful consideration, recognizing the need for a conclusion that preserves both the monarchy's heritage and its future stability. An unidentified aide requesting confidentiality owing to the sensitive nature of the issue underscored the seriousness of the situation. The assistant said, "Every decision we make now will impact the future of this institution. It surpasses simple reputation. It pertains to the conservation of a legacy that has persisted for centuries." This perspective was reiterated by a senior palace source who characterized the enforcement of Prince William's stipulations as a crucial precaution rather than a punitive action. "The monarchy must progress, but it must do so with meticulous deliberation," the insider said. "We cannot permit decisions to be made solely on the basis of sentiment. All actions must be evaluated to guarantee the institution's resilience against internal and external challenges." The conversations have focused on the wider ramifications of Prince Harry's possible return and the precedent it may establish for future royal transitions. Certain advisors have voiced concern that indulgence in this instance may encourage other royal family members to pursue analogous concessions, thereby compromising the authority of the monarchy's leadership. This matter extends beyond merely Harry and William, said another royal official. It is essential to ensure that the monarchy upholds a distinct structure characterized by delineated roles and responsibilities. Permitting exceptions at this juncture jeopardizes the institution's future. In addition to the political and institutional factors, the emotional impact on the royal family has been acknowledged within palace circles. The deterioration of King Charles's health has intensified the urgency of the circumstances, prompting considerable anxiety among palace officials over the emotional burden on the king. The king is not merely a sovereign, he is a paternal figure, acutely aware of the gravity of this familial crisis, said a veteran member of the royal household. He has always aspired to reconciliation, although he comprehends the intricacies of leadership. The current difficulty is to choose a course of action that respects both his own desires and his obligations to the country. The palace is keenly aware of the historical importance of the event as the debates continue. The British monarchy has faced several challenges throughout its history, including abdications, wars, scandals, and health problems. Each problem required meticulous navigation, with previous choices influencing the institution's course. This period will also be examined by history, and the decisions taken at Buckingham Palace in the next days will have enduring consequences. A senior advisor said, "We are custodians of a legacy that surpasses generations. Each decision we render today is assessed in consideration of that significant obligation." International responses and the wider consequences for the British monarchy. The escalating crisis within the British royal family has attracted significant attention from foreign media and royal analysts outside the United Kingdom. In Europe, where monarchs maintain differing levels of authority, the situation has been seen as a critical juncture for the British Crown's growing position in contemporary society. Analysts have likened the current situation to historical royal crises, including King Edward VIII's resignation in 1936 and the turbulent period of Queen Elizabeth II's reign in the 1990s. Many observers believe that the current crisis poses a unique difficulty intertwining familial discord with overarching institutional apprehensions over the monarchy's future significance. In the United States, where Prince Harry has lived for many years, media outlets have meticulously monitored his request for financial assistance and the stipulations set by Prince William. American observers have characterized the situation as a measure of accountability, with some seeing Harry's readiness to assume financial responsibility as an essential step toward personal and professional recovery. Nonetheless, some have challenged the monarchy's capacity to sustain its international stature in light of domestic strife. A famous political expert said on a U.S. television show, "This is not solely a British concern. It signifies a broader discourse regarding the monarchy's role in the 21st century. The British Crown has always represented stability. Nonetheless, this problem prompts inquiries over its capacity to conform to contemporary demands." Royal specialists around Europe have assessed the ramifications for other European monarchs, especially in nations like Spain, Sweden, and the Netherlands, whose royal families have encountered public scrutiny in recent years. Numerous observers have remarked that the British monarchy's method of addressing its internal disputes may provide a benchmark for how other royal institutions confront similar issues. A European royal historian noted in a prominent book that the British Crown has traditionally functioned as a paradigm for other kingdoms. Should the monarchy adeptly manage this crisis, it may bolster the notion that royal institutions may sustain relevance via judicious change and adaptation. Nevertheless, should the situation intensify, it may empower detractors of monarchy in other countries as well. The situation has ignited arguments over the larger consequences for the worldwide position of the British monarchy, in addition to the immediate issues of royal succession and internal family dynamics. The institution is now confronting issues of modernization, transparency, and financial responsibility as the global audience scrutinizes its capacity to sustain influence amid changing political and social norms. British monarchy prospects, tradition reform, and the future. The royal family's dilemma challenges the British monarchy to uphold traditions while adapting to a rapidly changing world. Prince William's strict conditions for Prince Harry's readmission and the lengthy discussions about economic responsibility and institutional change show that the monarchy must change to be relevant. Senior palace advisors versed in balancing preservation and progress have started high-level conversations on modernizing the institution while preserving its history. Financial transparency in the monarchy is a major concern. Prince Harry's petition and the $21 billion number have reignited royal family financial concerns. Recent disagreements have shown the necessity for clearer rules on the distribution and monitoring of the sovereign grant and other public monies which support the monarchy's official duties. A seasoned royal council member remarked in a private meeting, "This situation may necessitate the modernization of the monarchy in ways that have long been required. The monarchy's connection with its people may change if governmental activities and finances are restructured." Along with financial developments, the discussions have centered on the monarchy's position in contemporary society. The monarchy has traditionally symbolized continuity and national identity, but with growing skepticism against conventional institutions, it must be more aggressive in public service. Some experts suggest reassessing the royal family's philanthropy to address current issues including climate change, mental health, and economic inequality. A senior official stated, "We must ensure that the monarchy continues to be a positive influence globally. This requires adapting our philanthropic strategy to modern values." These conversations focus on leadership. The monarchy's survival depends on the next generation of royals' capacity to handle King Charles's health challenges and Prince William's upcoming duties. The crisis has exposed deep divisions and given regeneration. The monarchy's strength and coherence rely on its leaders' willingness to modernize while preserving its centuries-old legacy. A nation united in optimism and ambiguity, British citizens are watchful about royal family activities, creating a sense of expectation and fear. The monarchy, traditionally a symbol of continuity and stability, confronts a key time when royal choices may shape its destiny for decades. From the bustling streets of London to the peaceful countryside, UK citizens have displayed a great emotional devotion to the institution, respecting its historical significance while navigating its modern role. The rush of support for King Charles following his hospitalization shows that many Britons still revere the monarchy despite its recent problems. Candlelight vigils, floral tributes, and heartfelt messages from supporters have shown the public's closeness to the royal family. Despite this togetherness, many worry about the viability of an institution intimately tied to national identity. A Londoner added, "This transcends a mere conflict within the royal family. It concerns our monarchy's legacy and future." The debate about Prince Harry's plea and Prince William's response shows shifting British expectations. Some reconciliators emphasize familial togetherness, while others say the monarchy must maintain its integrity by enforcing limitations and accountability. Younger people want a more transparent and adaptable monarchy, while older people value tradition and stability. A young activist remarked on TV, "We desire a monarchy that embodies contemporary values. However, we also want one that lasts." The British people want a solution that respects history and the future. Leaders' decisions and the monarchy's ability to reconcile tradition and change will determine its recovery from this crisis. The following days will determine the fates of particular royals and the legacy of an institution that has shaped British history for decades. Thank you for watching the video. Please let us know your thoughts, and goodbye for now.